So I'm hitting up a little Sunday marathon, you guys. I put on an audiobook, and which is why I'm playing some of my most played solo games of all time. A, I love them, but B, I've played them enough so that I am able to listen to an audiobook and kind of play a game all in one time. I'm sorting out the components there. Those are actually from the Leisure and Decadence expansion, so I'm not playing with that this time because, again, I was just trying to keep it simple, but It's a Wonderful World is a great game. I have a full-length playthrough on the channel as well, but I thought I would just kind of like talk over while you guys watch some of the things that I love about it, and yeah, I'll just kind of come in and out, and otherwise you guys can just kind of listen to the tunes, sit back, relax, play your own games. Thought this would be an interesting way to get more games shown in a smaller amount of time, so let me know down below what you think. So setting up the solo mode is really easy. You make 8 piles of 5 cards each, and so each round effectively consists of taking each set of those 5 tiles. So I picked up these 5 cards. I will then decide whether it is going to go into my construction area, which means I'm going to try to keep the card to build it, or B, I can discard it to get that little resource on the bottom right hand. So for instance, I'll wait till I do one that I can show you. So I'm selecting 2 of those I put into my construction. Then with these last 3, went ahead and put that in construction. Both of those I then did a discard of 2 cards, which allows me to draw 5 more and keep 1. So that gives me a little bit more strategicness to try to find some point cards to get my synergies going. And so all of those are, I'm going through the production phase, so everything is produced from left to right based on what is in my little corporation over there to the left. And so your starting corporation already comes with 2 grays, a black, and a green. And then since then, of course, I've built an extra black, blue, an extra 2 green, 2 more blue, 2 more black, and a yellow. And it's really cool though with the way that the production works, where if you, for instance, you needed just 1 gray on a card, well, gray produces first, so you might be able to fulfill that card and get that in time to where it actually gives you a resource on this round. Sorry about that. I also recently have just purchased It's a Wonderful Kingdom, and I haven't got that one out to play yet, but it just came in my new thing for Miniature Market that I ordered. And going into final scoring, so you get points that are just kind of depicted there on the cards, and as well as some of them have set points for different things. So for instance, you might get 3 points for each green card you produce, that kind of thing. So that was It's a Wonderful World. Next up is Pandemic. I love this game so much. It's easy to teach to people, and also I love playing it solo. I got it during Christmas, and I just kind of played it non-stop. I set it on top of my treadmill desk and would just walk and just play over and over and over again in order to try out like all the different investigators. And then it's tight, you know, so it's one of those that's, you have to kind of keep coming back to it because you're going to want to win. So to set up there, again, I'm kind of shuffling in 5 epidemic cards. I did make a little misstep, and you're actually supposed to deal your player cards first and then do the equal piles. So I didn't do that, so I actually I had to do a little like whoops. So there's my character cards. I am playing with the scientist, the dispatcher, as well as the medic. The medic I can like not play. I can't play without him every time I play. Also, like the scientist, she's cool. She only has to have 4. The dispatcher, he is also cool though, because you can move people's pawns, and you can move it to a space that already has a pawn in it. So in Pandemic, for instance, you have to go and you're trying to cure these diseases, and you need to get 4, if you're the scientist, but regular people, 5 of one color in order to cure it, and you have to take it to a research station. Well, if you ever want to give a blue card from your hand to another player's hand, you have to go to that city and then meet up with that person and then share it there. So it's very hard to pass cards to each other. It can be very inefficient when you're also trying to like make sure that you're managing all the disease cubes and whatnot, so you don't have full-blown epidemic. There's a couple special abilities, so that little card down there and the yellow before I put the other yellow card above there was like a special ability. There's a few of those in there, otherwise they're just the standard locations on the map in the 4 different colors. I recently also purchased Pandemic Iberia. It also came in my new miniature market haul that I just got, and so I haven't got that one to the table yet, but I know that most people rank that as one of their favorites. And then I also, since I love Pandemic so much, I went ahead and bought Pandemic Legacy Season 1 and Season 2. I don't have 0 yet, because I got the other ones when they went on sale, so I'm kind of just, whenever I see 0 go on sale, I'll go ahead and pick it up and then get to it when I can. I know the legacy ones, it's hard to start them, because then I'm like, oh, then I have to put off playing all these other games I want to play, because I'll want to just like leave it set up and just go. So as you can kind of see there on the bottom right, I've had several epidemics breakouts. I'm all the way down at 6, so I only can have 2 more breakouts. And what the epidemic is basically, if I needed to fill up a place, draw something that had 3 cubes, and then it will not place one if it would have had to be over 3, and then you actually place one in all the surrounding areas. So that is how that was my demise for that round. So a little bit of Herbaceous should be easier, lighter, less tense. So you take out half the deck in order to play solo. You start with 1 card in the discard, 2 cards in the community garden, and then 3 in your private garden. I have 4 little I was gonna say jars, but they're not all jars. There's a propagation jar there on the top right. The thing that has the purple lavender in it is another thing. So it wants to have everything that sets that are not equal, or items that are not equal. And then the one below that with all the yellow pots, it wants to have sets of equal to, and then the blue one on the bottom wants to have exactly equal things. So I went ahead and played this one twice here. So quick and easy to play. I play this a lot, like if I just need like a little mental pick me up in the morning with my coffee, I like to get this one out. And then easy peasy, she goes log in all my plays, of course. Those were all my plays of Herbaceous, you could see a lot. And Forbidden Desert is next. My #1 most played solo game of all time. Sadly, I can't tell you exactly how many times I've played it, but I trust me when I say that it's the most played. But I don't actually have the exact number because I didn't start tracking my plays until 2020. And I got Forbidden Desert in 2018, I think. And I went kind of crazy in the amount of times I'd play it. So I have 2 years of data that I'm missing. So kind of similarly to Pandemic, on this one I'm running 3 investigators, getting my little starting grid set up. I was being very indecisive with the layout because whenever the storm cards come out, I always like to have a nice area for them. So I love to start with the navigator because he lets you send people up to 3 spaces away. So I love starting with him and then just shipping the people out kind of further away. That way they can all get some corners of the map and then try to meet up in the middle to get the water spaces. That's one of my consistent strategies I try to go with. And I was starting on the legendary, I believe. So very hard. So I'm already up in the 4 cards. This is also on like 1,000 times speed, so you know you're missing some things. But, I have all of the Forbidden series now. Again, my miniature market hall that I just was talking about. I also have Forbidden Island now. So it is actually set up on one of my little side tables. I haven't played it just yet, but it's on the docket. So now I have all of them. So after I play it, maybe I'll do a little ranking video of where I rank all of them. Spoiler alert, Forbidden Desert will be number 1, but you can see how I rate the other 3. The thing that gets me about this game is that it's always tight. It's always tight and close, and that it's very easy. But I also really enjoy the aspect of flipping something over and not knowing what's on the other side. Like, I find that very entertaining. Like, I don't. Let me know if I'm the only one who thinks like that. And I lost. So I ended up getting buried in the sand. I ran out of sand. So that's one of the ways you can die. Which is not surprising. I was playing on Legendary, but... And next up is Castle Panic. Also, do you guys like my little transition slides? Those were new. Just made those. I've been trying to get better at doing some graphics and stuff like that. Although I feel like I don't get very many views, so is it worth the time spent? I do not know, but I do like, I don't know, trying to, at least if somebody stumbles upon it, at least if they're like, oh, I think your stuff's good, that makes me feel good, so. And Castle Panic solo. So I always play this one solo. I've only played it one time multiplayer, and Wyatt just, I feel like, didn't like it very much. And so I just play it solo all the time now. And the way it works, you get 6 cards, you can discard one and redraw twice on your turn. And then at the end of the round, you move all of the monsters 1 step forward towards the castle ring. And then you draw 2 new monster tokens. So some of them are regular monsters, some of them might be a special monster that'll tell you to do certain things. I also have this is actually one of my very first playthroughs I did on the channel, actually. So if you guys haven't watched that, you can go watch that if you want to have a full length, more explanation involved to it. So there's one that's like, draw 4 more monster tokens, and those can get you. I'm getting, unfortunately, that warlord got into my castle ring, so he's going around and he is knocking them down. So if I do not get the barbarian is the only person that can kill someone inside of the castle ring, and I did not, so I lost. And I normally always win this one, so this was a surprise for me, in fact. Awkward guess? I like how this one looks on with the color scheme involved. Blend in nicely, if I do say so myself. Still listening to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which is very fitting for playing Awkward Guess. I liked that one. I listened to it all the way on audio. I don't have the book or anything, but I enjoyed it. I think I give it a 4. I don't know if it's one I'll ever go rewatch or something. There's even a second in the series, and I don't feel like I'm rushing to pick it up necessarily, but I enjoyed my time. If I saw the audiobook on Hoopla or Libby, I would listen to it though. So Awkward Guess is another one that I play solo more than I play multiplayer, but we have played it like in big groups, but I really do enjoy just playing it solo. I feel like that's my favorite way. And I was really excited because the Awkward Guest second one, which is on Kickstarter, so I backed it. And then one of the stretch goals, though, that we were like so close to getting, I feel like we were like $5,000 or $1,000 off or something, but there was going to be a solo mode because it was going to only be a 2-player. But I was like, I don't care, I'm getting it anyway, because if I don't, I'll be like totally upset, because this is again one of my most played solo games of all time, so I can't hardly not have something that's in the series. The collector in me is like not allowing it. I'm like, I want to play it. But so when they didn't get the solo mode, I'm really hoping, I hope that they just surprise us and see the demand and go ahead and get it a solo mode, because I do think they'd sell more copies. And honestly, the Kickstarter might have done a little bit better as well if they would have just started it with a solo mode or pushed that one a little bit further more, because I know some people I've talked to, they were like, oh, it didn't have a solo mode, so then I didn't back it, and then they probably didn't check back for the Kickstarter updates, so, but who knows. I will say the pathways is something when I first got this game, and even still now to this day, it takes me a little bit to be like, okay, when picking out the weapon, I'm like, okay, what was the path that they could have gone? And I get a little bit confused. The white rooms in the bottom are supposed to be the 4 rooms that the guests were able to say they were in while Mr. Walton was murdered in his study. So the other areas are all kind of, no one should be standing in there, but they'll tell you like, oh, this person might have passed through here, kind of situation. And this one was on my deduction in December, so I did a playthrough back then for this one. So if you want a full-length playthrough, I do have one of those on the channel. I'll try to link all the videos actually down below that I have playthroughs for. I solved it! I did it! So after losing Pandemic and Castle Panic, I was successful in Awkward Guess. And then we had Welcome to, and I hadn't played Welcome to in a while, so this was fun to get back out. And I have all the different expansions, but to keep it light, I just was playing the regular one. There's technically a solo mode pack or expansion or something that you can also get, and I do not have that. I just play with what's depicted in the rule book, in the base game. So yeah, in solo it's very easy. You draw out 3 cards, you're going to pick a number from one, and then an iconography from another, and then easy peasy, you go through there. I have the number 1, 2, and 3 are the little construction contracts I can do. So if I were to get 3 houses, 3 houses, 3 houses, I would get 8 points in the dark brown. However, halfway through-ish, through the deck, there is a little, oh, I finished my audiobook. Now I'm starting my second audiobook, which is Quiet Tenant. That one I ended up giving it 3 stars, I believe. Anyways, back to the game. So there's halfway through, there's a little, I forget what it's called, but it's like construction something or other. And then all of those have to be flipped over. And then you'll only be able to get the smaller points. Instead of getting 8, you can only get 4 if you don't get it soon enough in the round. Versus the multiplayer, it's kind of a race to see who gets the card first. So that's, yep, it just came out. So see, I flipped the number 1 and number 2 over. And you put little fences kind of around the houses. The numbers have to go in chronological order on each row. And then there's like pools, so you can do special scoring for pools, parks. Right now I'm calculating up how many of the different buildings. And then when you use the purple little real estate, that made them worth more points. So. And last but not least is SOS Titanic, which also has a playthrough. But again, this is a fast playthrough in a different format. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think of something like this. Like if I just play some games and talk over it, but you can kind of see the orchestration of how it goes. Like let me know. Or is this too fast? Do I need to slow it down a little bit? Or stop talking, just put music? Like, do you just want like ambience? But let me know. And SOS Titanic. So this one is very much like playing solitaire with some special abilities. And so instead of returning everything like up to the aces, you are trying to locate the passenger rescue boats and get all 4 sets of passengers. So there's 2 sets of first class passengers and 2 sets of second class passengers. And you are trying to get them onto their life raft before the boat sinks. Because as you can see, each time I turn that little page, more and more of the Titanic is underwater. It's terrifying. So 17 is the highest on the green, which is the second class citizens, and 13 is the highest on the first class citizens. So they effectively act as the aces and or kings, I guess, in solitaire, and start the new row. So, and then there's different investigators. So the investigator that you start with, so I, for instance, am playing with Joseph Murdoch over there. So he tells me like how many little special abilities I start with in the beginning. He also says that when he fails a passenger rescue step, and when he turns the page, he doesn't actually get a new, I think it's when he turns the page as well. Or maybe his ability actually, no, that was the other guy. Yes, this one is when he fails a passenger rescue, he gets 2 special abilities. So that's why I have so many special abilities over there with him. And then he can only get, it's kind of small. I can't quite see right now, but there's a different number of cards I can draw from the draw pile whenever I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to whenever I'm trying to figure out like how many cards I can put down into the little tableau. So I have 2 sets completely on the boat, but then I'm stuck at 8 on the green, And so I was looking for a 9, and then I'm stuck at 4 down there on my other first class passenger. So I did find a 5 and couldn't do it. So the 8 is what got me hung up. So yeah, that is SOS Titanic. Oh, Horrified. Where's the Horrified footage? I'm gonna have to go find Horrified's footage. I don't know if it got deleted. Oh no. Well, I think if it did get deleted, thank you guys oh so much for hanging out. I will see you next time. Let me know down below what you thought, and yeah, I will talk to you when I talk to you. Bye.